Hello and welcome to another Duranie Distraction. Oh man, it's so good to have you guys back. We are here at another Wild Boy Wednesday, trying to make it through another week, quarantining and masking up and making do and being creative and keeping ourselves busy, occupied, and having faith that we are going to get back to concerts, we're going to get back to ticket sales and seeing our band again. Oh my gosh, there's so much out there to look forward to. We just need to get to it, right? Without going crazy. So this is part of the process of staying sane. We are keeping all the darkness out and keeping ourselves together. Oh my gosh, it's so good to have you guys here. We have lots and lots to get through. Huge hugs to everyone. Pick your hug up at the door. Find a special place for yourself. Have a seat. It's so good to have you guys back. Lottie Coyle is here all the way from the UK. Love UK fans. Oh my God. You know, any fan who's from the band's homeland is just, and my heart just goes out to all of you guys. I love your accent. You have a fantastic accent. Okay, Carol T. Poland is here. Carol, welcome. Okay. So, lots to get through, things other than just sitting here reading your names and feeling the love. So, I know we have to get to it. We're going to start with our usual affirmation. And, you know, this is such a special part. It's grown to be such a special part for me because I have all kinds of messages I'm trying to give myself. Lots of stuff going on in my life and, you know, out there in the world trying to, you know, find the light amid all the darkness. And so, really, this is my way of just kind of taking myself by the hand. And I hope you guys can do the same. Find a special spot for yourself. Let all of the insecurities, all the worries and concerns, anxieties, and I know there's a lot of them, just let it melt away just for a little bit because you deserve a break, right? Okay, here we go. I am good enough. I am brave enough. And it is okay to get lost in the flow because chances are I will find my way back. Yes, and you know, finding our way back to all the concerts, that's what we're doing, right? We are looking forward to the band's new album, and there's going to be tours. There's going to be tours. I know it. I feel it. There's a disturbance in the force, and it's a good one, and it's going to bring us back to a scenario where we're all in the same room together, witnessing the band's magic. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Okay, Fabi's here from Argentina, UK, and Argentina in the same place. Yay! Okay, so I should just have a big map of the world and just like, okay, I love that country, I love that country, I love that country, because, you know, that's what's going on in here. So, hello, sweetie Christine. This is our month anniversary, so huge love to you. Thanks for joining on this crazy journey with me. Okay, so we have lots to get to. And, you know, one of the things I just wanted to say real quick, I read the recent Daily Duranie blog. And, you know, it's just, Rhonda and Amanda do such an incredible, important, enduring job over the years. And they're coming up to 10 years doing this. And the blog was recently about, like, you know, whether their efforts, you know, still matter and maybe running out of things to talk about or whether they should do it. I mean, these are doubts that, you know, I've had from time to time, these distractions. I wake up at an ungodly hour to get ready for this and, you know, just like there's so much that goes into it. How long can I keep this going? But, I mean, and it's 10 years. That doesn't hold a candle. The 10 years that the Daily Duranie has been doing it. But I want to let you girls know, ladies, fantastic, strong women, that it is so important, and you guys are a fixture, a staple in the fan community, and you are so loved, and, you know, regardless of how much feedback you get, I know you reach people. It is interesting, you're brave, thinking about compelling things to talk about, taking risks and putting your own opinions out there. It's an amazing, remarkable job you do, so I do hope you keep on doing it. And on top of all your family business and all your regular lives, it's extraordinary, so thank you. So, okay, here we go. We're gonna dive right into some Japanese photos. Okay, so this is an article from Japan. It's a gorgeous a spotlight on the band on stage. Some beautiful shots. There's John with his bass and Simon with his hand in the air, like, yeah, we are here. And, you know, the ingredients to happiness, right? You got love, you got peace, you got tenderness, and a Duran Duran press conference. That's all you need. That's happiness right there. So this is how they looked at a Japanese press conference. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Standing there, you know, when John's hair is in front of his eyes, oh my God, I don't know. I know what it is. I was never able to get the hair in front of the eyes. I was never able to dye my bangs. I was never able to do any of the JT stuff. So kudos and respect to anybody who could possibly replicate that. It's just beautiful. Just absolutely awesome. Okay. Then we have a lovely article from Israel, which of course makes me think of my sister and her kids. Oh, just absolutely adorable and beautiful young adults growing up way too fast. And I'm not sure. I tried to reach out to my sister to figure out what this says, and you know, the time difference. She hasn't been able to get back to me yet, but I'm sure it's interesting. Okay, so here we have from Music Express, number 98 from 1986. This is a cautionary little note from Music Express. Teen faves, Duran Duran, were treading water as a band in 1985. Singer Simon Le Bon swallowed the stuff in a near-fatal yacht mishap, but that sparked press interest in the Arcadia project he shared with Nick Rhodes and Roger Taylor. John and Andy scored with a Power Station album featuring a metallic funk edge, but the substitution of Michael DeBar for Robert Palmer hampered their tour. Not quite sure that's true, but I'll just let it go for now. Duran would be well advised to resume work as a band ASAP. The attention span of teenagers is notoriously short. Well, you know, you can submit all your cautionary tales you want, but Duran are way, like, you know, they can endure a lot longer than your magazine, so I'm just saying, okay? Anyway, that was a little article that appeared in Music Express. Please, notoriously short. We are still here, and we're still all teenagers. All of us. Okay, the next part, we're going right into 1986 when Andy Taylor left the band. Oh, Stacey Brown is here. Hello, Stacey! Okay, so this is a little article, an interview with Andy Taylor called Rock and Roll Will Never Die, D-Y-E. Isn't that cute? Yeah, that's so cute. So it's a fantastic caricature of Andy, and just picked out a couple things to read, because it's really interesting kind of getting inside Andy Taylor's head at the moment, even though it's not all like, you know, unicorn glitter and warm fuzzies. But it talks about the story of Andy's audition with the soon-to-be Fab Five has been retold several times in the fanzines, and by each account, the union appeared to be a match made in heaven. They, meaning founding members Nick and John, oh, and they actually put Roger in there as a founding member. They were quite blatant, Andy said, told Rolling Stone in February 1984. They said, "We're posers. We want a good-looking poser band." I said, "Good, because I like dressing up and I love wearing makeup." Really? But in truth, Taylor now claims he was lying through his perfect teeth. The thing that really attracted me to joining the band, he confides, was that the two managers who were working with the band also owned a nightclub, and we could go rehearse in this nightclub all day and get drunk in it all night. For free! I'm so glad he has his priorities in the right place. So eventually, Taylor's lie caught up to him. "I guess I never actually fit in," he says, "because I wasn't very good at wearing the makeup and that, and they always used to bone at me for wearing jeans. Even Andy's hair, which was often photographed tied back in a functional ponytail, seemed at odds with the other Durani's well-coiffed cover boy look. As a result," he says, "I suppose I was never in the videos a lot. It was always the old singer and the pretty bass player, which never bothered me, not being in the videos, until we won our first Grammy, the only Grammy we ever won, and it was for making videos. I felt like sending mine back." Well, maybe you should have. No. You're a part of the band. You're the third unrelated Taylor. And, you know, I'm a purist, so, you know, I love Andy. But, yeah, it's really interesting. I mean, you know, he just was kind of like a ragged tiger out of water, to totally to coin a horrible metaphor. So then he says, let's see, when Andy Taylor remembers his years with Duran Duran, he mostly remembers three things: the girls, the girls, and the girls. "Oh God," he exclaimed, "it was like, how many do you want? You know, take your pick every night." Oh, it's a little much, right, for this day and age. Duran Duran's appeal to pubescent women has been extremely well documented. The mobs of screaming girls at every U.S. airport they touched down in on their first American tour, the international hotels forced to move the band members to alternate lodging following the inevitable invasion of party-hardy females in their lobbies, the tons of fan mail ranging from marriage proposals to X-rated Polaroid self-portraits. Whoa, okay. None of that was by design, all that with the young girls, Andy insists. It just happened. We didn't expect it to happen. We couldn't have, really. That's just what went down. As for how often Taylor himself reaped the benefits of all this Durandemonium, the married one of the group insists he maintained a monk-like detachment. The temptation and all that was very difficult to avoid, he admits, but I was married right through the whole thing, you know. My wife has been with me since I was like penniless, so I would have felt like such a, he puts a bad word in there, if I did any of that stuff. So that's really very honest. I can only imagine the scene back then, and yeah, lots of females, and there were males too. Okay, let's just not leave out the males, because boys like to make noise. Yeah. But the last part I'll read is, it talks about, this is interesting how Andy remembers some of the Rio video. But drugs and booze and unsympathetic producers aren't the only types of nonsense Andy Taylor hopes to avoid this time around the track. My videos are going to be a lot different too, he says, talking about his new album, Thunder. I'm not into someone turning in this ridiculous budget to fly halfway around the world to go sailing, you know? An obvious reference to Rio. That's not what it's about. I mean, if there's anything you can use a video for, I think just showing a performance of the song is always the strongest thing. That way, the audience gets to see you play, instead of seeing the concept of some stupid director with an horrible pair of shoes on, you know, trying to look trendy. So you can totally get a sense of how on opposite sides of the whole issue, you know, the look, the fashion, the image, everything that Duran Duran made videos count for. Everything they just, I mean, they completely transformed the art of video. But for Andy, he was just like, yeah, I don't need any of it. So anyway, so here is the article right there. It's, you know, it's a really interesting time. A lot of change for the band. And you know, what's interesting is when I think about the low points in the band's career, it really makes me appreciate their journey. I mean, it's not all, you know, highs, and neither is, it makes me think of my journey, right? I mean, things make me stronger, things test me, although I never asked to be tested this much this year. Okay, so here's a article, I believe it might be from Croatia, and here's one from Finland, which uses an 81 photo, but this is all about 1987. Gorgeous photos, love the international flavor, and where are we going? Going this way. Yes, very good. Power rotation station. That was a horrible attempt to reintroduce a lyric from Big Thing. Okay, oh, a great ad for Liberty next, coming on. And I've seen this ad with different colors on the advertisement. So this one is actually blue. And yeah, out now includes the hit single "Violence of Summer, Love's Taken Over." That's actually what's happening every Wednesday and Saturday, right? With us, love's taken over. Okay, things to haunt me. So this is a really, really cool, one of the things I was really excited to get into today were some articles that really feature when the band reunited and they hit the UK shores and went back to their homeland and the roots and everything. Oh my God, it's just, and they feature photos of fans and quotes and stuff. I just love celebrating fans. It's like, oh, so much hugs. So this is really cool. This is from the Evening Mail, October 5th, 2004. Brummy Boys Duran were welcomed home by hundreds of excited fans who packed a city record shop to greet them. Simon Le Bon, John Taylor, Nick Rhodes, and Roger Taylor appeared at HMV. Where's Andy? Yeah, Andy's not in that listing. What? Oh my gosh, he wasn't there. Okay, so they appeared at HMV in High Street to sign their new single, Reach Up for the Sunrise. There's the feature right here. Le Bon said, "The fans are rabid." Oh, we are so rabid. Yeah, can you get vaccinated from us? No, nothing helps. Okay. There were times when we thought the original band would not get back together again, but it feels good. It feels fresh again. Birmingham is the best place we could possibly come to sell our record. It's only right that you start in Birmingham. Oh, yes, Birmingham is a soft place in all their hearts. That's so cool. And Teresa writes in, love HMV. Oh, and HMV, I'm sure, loves you right back. Okay. The band accepted specially iced cakes, signed record covers, posed for snaps, and accepted hundreds of kisses. Hundreds of kisses! Okay. The only band member unable to attend was Andy Taylor. You know, you could have started out with that. Okay, why did I have to wait so long in the article? Whatever. Okay. We asked their screaming supporters, many who queued for hours to meet their heroes, what they liked best about the city's comeback kings. Susan Dudley, age 33, a teacher from Norrington Road, Northfield. Wherever you are in this article. Congratulations. Okay. She said, when I get to the end of the queue, I'm going to ask Roger to marry me. I used to have posters of them all over my bedroom. This has brought it all back. Love it. Okay. And then, Sharon Harrison, age 34, a nurse of Doris Road, Coles Hill, said, I have loved them for 20 years. I can't wait to see the original lineup, but best of all, we'll be meeting Simon Le Bon. I've queued for 3 hours to see him. Oh, I can just imagine the energy queuing to meet the guys. Who is this? Amy Slocum is here. Oh, Amy! Hey, love to Amy. Okay. Julie Roberts, 32, a hairdresser from Garrard Gardens. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. All these places in the UK, it's so fun. Okay. Sutton Coldfield said, they haven't aged at all. They are fantastic, and it helps that they are from Brum, too. Waiting for them to sign a copy of the single makes me feel like a teenager again. Allison Owen, 34, queued for more than an hour to see them, but said it was worth the wait. Oh, indeed, every time it's worth the wait. You know, I really miss those times when we were all waiting for tickets. We would just line up, hours, and bring tents, chairs, change our address, forward our mail, just to get the best spot. Oh, that was street cred. We were the fans. Okay, breathe. The print worker of Browning Grove, Purton, said, this is Allison Owen. The print worker of Browning Grove, Purton, said, it has been a dream. I kissed them all on the cheek. Duran songs have got me through the bad times, and of course they are sexy and gorgeous lads, too. John Fair, age 35, a wild boy. Okay, he is a carer from Great Colmore Street. He said, let's see, I must have seen them live about 8 times. I'm a pretty diehard fan. They make really good pop music. Well, that is incredibly understated, but beautifully expressed. Fantastic. So here are some pictures. These are pictures of diehard Duranies Mary Jane Gorgon and Victoria Burgess and Allison Harris. Oh, look at all the fans behind them. And then there's a bigger picture of Lucy Haley from Walsall. She meets her idol, Simon. Just so cool. So cool. Love it so much. UK fans unite! And I just feel it in my blood that there's going to be a major hometown concert when the band hit the road again. Going back to Brum, baby. Back to Brum! Okay. Back to the Future. Oh, how's that for a segue? So we have a feature here from Sunday Mercury, September 19th, 2004. It's really, I love it when magazines do this. They go track by track through the album, and in this particular article, the format is a little quote from the band about a song, and then they give you the verdict. So basically the impression from the newspaper. So, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Okay, so it's called Back to the Future. It's been all of 21 years since the original Duran Duran lineup recorded a studio album, but now they're back with a set of mixed emotions and musical fortunes. Mixed emotions, what is that, like ecstasy or happiness or delirium? Those kind of mixed emotions? Okay. Hello, Carl. Carl James is here. Navy gold. Okay. So Reach Up for the Sunrise. This is a, let's see, okay. Okay, that's a quote from Nick. Reach up for the sunrise. After the cloud cast by 9/11, we wanted something anti-dark and uplifting. Something that says, wake up and enjoy the day. It's a bit like George Harrison's Here Comes the Sun. And the verdict? No, Nick, it's nothing like the Beatles classic. Although it sounds as if you could have recorded it back in your heyday, it's... how did that get through my filter? It's not a nice verdict. Okay. Okay. Want You More. We're gonna skip to Want You More. Yes, there's a positivity filter on this broadcast, okay? I'm guilty of it. Want You More. I love that song. Nick says, this is a song that veers between dark and light. It's at the Brandenburg Gate. Verdict? Sounds more like it's at the Rum Runner with a classic Duran chorus and chart beat that used to go down well in the concert halls and on dance floors back in the 1980s. Decidedly dated, but diehard Duranies will love it. Dated. Whatever. Okay. Moving on to What Happens Tomorrow. Nick says, this is another song expressing the uncertainty everyone was feeling after 9/11. Really made an impact on them. And all of us, of course. The verdict, musically more mature. There are hints of the Beatles, or is that Oasis here? The chorus lodges in your brain and stubbornly refuses to budge. It's a slowie that's one of the album's best cuts. Hey, yeah, exactly, that's what I'm saying. Astronaut. Oh, Simon. Oh, quote from Simon. Oh, I love that song. Okay. Leaving with an astronaut. Oh, I wish I could have the music playing behind me. Facebook wouldn't have it. Okay. So Simon says, astronaut is something for the body and something for the brain. It's that Duran balance of light and dark, upbeat and heavy, pop to make you dance and think. It's about getting back together. Love that. The verdict? Been listening to your Pet Shop Boys album, Simon? This is cheesy pop that'll be a big hit if released as a single, but I suspect not the one you'd like as your epitaph. You know, okay, just, maybe I need to come to terms with reviews that are not like all lovey, okay, but whatever. That's big, capital W, bold type, whatever. Love that song. Bedroom Toys is next. You can't go wrong with Bedroom Toys. Nick says, this is a cheeky song about sex toys. It's pure Duran frivolity, very tongue-in-cheek. And that's all that really needs to be said about it. Who cares what they say? The paper. Oh, nice. I love the song Night. This sums up exactly what I feel every broadcast when you guys start filing in. And Fabi talks about the demo is, okay, I'm like jumping into conversations. I do hate this. You guys should be here with me so I can follow all the conversations. Okay, anyway. Okay. Nice. Nick says, a relationship song that says it doesn't have to be complicated. It was written before 9/11 when we were all back together, the sun was shining, and we were incredibly positive. And the verdict? Another song that sounds as if it could have been recorded way back when and mines the classic Duran vein. It's hardly Hunger Like the Wolf, but it'll appeal to new generation fans. Well, that's a vote of confidence, I think. That's good. Okay. Taste the Summer. Oh, Taste the Summer. This was the first song to emerge, says John. We'd all been out dancing in Saint-Tropez for Nick's birthday. And next day, we just hit this groove. It's a complete Duran disco. And the verdict? Anyone? No argument there, John. It's Duran, and it's disco as only you do it. If you happen to like both, then you'll be head over heels in love. If you're not a fan of either, then you'll be appalled. Well, I guess that's one way to say it. Okay. Finest hour. Within months of us getting back together, 9/11 happened, says Simon. It inspired us to write this song, which refers to the famous Winston Churchill speech about how we're all under attack. And the verdict, good song and great vocal that breaks from formula and recalls the more fulfilling work the Durans did after the original lineup split. If you liked Ordinary World, you'll love this. Well, I completely agree. It's a beautiful, powerful song. It has a real emotional thread to it. Chains. A little ditty about love and death, says Nick. Woody Allen would be pleased. That was an odd reference. Verdict, a haunting song that has much in common with Save a Prayer, but that sounds incredibly up to date. Clearly, you can teach an old dog new tricks. Okay, did you just call Duran Duran old dog? I take an issue. I'll be writing a letter. Very cool. Even the Coldplay crowd may be impressed. Is that necessary? One of Those Days. I love that. That's a good song. A little postcard that says, no matter how difficult things get, it's worth battling through because there's always tomorrow, says Nick. That's the theme of the album, how precious it is that we're here. This is very, very topical. And the verdict on that, another song that suggests the Durans have been catching up on the likes of Keane and the South. The falsetto falters, but it's one of those songs that'll haunt you. And oh, that's beautiful. And so there's talk about Point of No Return. The verdict, I'm just going to go straight to the thoughtful lyrics and a stretching of musical muscle show that you can still cut it, guys. Nice guitar from Andy and restrained keyboards add to the mood. Still breathing, they end with that. Beautiful, beautiful. This goes deep into the dark side, Nick says. It's about recovery, going through something that nearly destroys you and coming out the other side. Wow. Doesn't that speak to our experience? It still does. The verdict, saving the best till last is a dangerous strategy. If you've been discouraged early, you'll have missed out on one of the finest songs Duran Duran have ever recorded. A slow burner success. Oh, love going out on a high note. Love that. Very, very cool. And that is the article. It goes track by track. Beautiful. I mean, Duran Duran have got it. They keep on churning out hits and stretching themselves. I love them. We're moving to November 15th, 2004 in the Evening Mail. Another examination of the band's reunion. This says reunion is just a reflex action. Oh, bam! I'll take awesome puns for 500. Very cool. And look at the photo. Oh my God, look at all those fans. Oh my God, just love it. Love it. Oh my God, UK fans. You guys just leave me so well chuffed. That's all you get. That's a horrible rendition. Okay, Duran Duran fans pay homage to 80s icons. And the picture says, they are posing at the Brums Reflex Bar, all these wild girls. So it's very short, but every little bit is just packed with emotion for me. So I wanted to share it with you. Their wedged hair, no, how about this? Their wedged haircuts may be a distant memory, and their frilly white shirts long been banished to the back of the wardrobe. But more than 50 Duranis prove that they are still as dedicated as ever to the city's top 80s pop group. The Duran Duran fanatics were at a reunion at the aptly named Reflex Bar on Birmingham's Broad Street to pay homage to the group born and bred in the city. The fans, many of whom traveled from all over the UK to be at the big night out on Saturday, met through the message boards of the band's official website and arranged the event themselves to mark their dedication to Simon Le Bon and the boys. They started the evening with a meeting at the Jury's Inn before sharing a meal, and then a specially arranged champagne party night at the 80s themed bar, which stands facing the Hyatt Hotel, the site of what was the old Rum Runner club where the band started out. Oh, this makes me so miss get-togethers. Oh my God, I cannot wait till we can do that again. Who's this? Carol Poland is here. Okay. Oh, I mentioned you earlier. Oh, you deserve a second mention. Okay. Organizer Xenia Karianis, age 33, of Selly Oak, said the Duranis had met through the message forum and at concerts, promotional events, and record signings. She said, many of us were Duranis in our teens and have followed the band's progress through the years. But not all of those who attended were 30-somethings. Some are fans following the band's more recent chart successes. Xenia, who has a 10-year-old daughter and will marry partner Richard Baker in a few months. Congratulations. The band she added, the band may be known as the Wild Boys, but it was definitely the Wild Girls on our night out. Some even dressed in their old 80s new romantic outfits, while others just felt they were following the holy grail of Duran Duran by being in the city where it all started. Everyone has already agreed we should do it again. And the girls that are identified, Kirsty Seggett, Jules Moore, Allison Harris, Sandra Preston, and Xenia. Oh, that's so cool. I don't know if any of you might know them, but that would be ultra extra exciting. That's really cool. Again, such a great photo of all the fans with a big poster. Just fantastic, fantastic. Okay, so here we have New York Post, August 29th, 2003. The real thing. The real thing. The real thing. Yeah, okay. Duran Duran back at the old stand. Oh my God, this carried unbelievable tingles when I read this. The packed crowd was sopping with sweat, and so was Simon Le Bon. Everything written about Duran Duran should start like that. I'm just saying, okay. Is the balcony shaking? Called the 44-year-old frontman of Duran Duran, soaking through the night's third shirt. Because the stage is shaking here, and that's a good feeling. How many times have you been in the audience and you felt the floor shaking, just from all the energy and being in that crowd? Oh my God, it brings it back. That's right, I'm supposed to breathe during this broadcast, aren't I? That's right, I keep on forgetting about that. It must have been 100 musty, dripping wet degrees inside Webster Hall Wednesday night, but Le Bon wasn't the only one feeling good. Back on the East Coast for the first time in 18 years, the band's original 5 members brought the house down on the first and last New York stage they ever played. The hair is shorter and the eyeliner is lighter, but amazingly, the Birmingham boys still have it. The stage at Webster Hall, formerly the Ritz, was the exact spot where Le Bon, Taylors, and Nick Rhodes made their local debut in the early 80s. "Welcome to the home of the second British invasion," yelled Le Bon. Yes, I love it. I love it when he talks to the audience. Okay. The hungry crowd, heavy on models, celebs, and fashion types, courtesy of sponsor Juicy Couture for Men, went nuts even before the band played the first notes of the opener, Friends of Mine. Love Friends of Mine. Oh my God. As they tore through hit singles, tearing through them. Oh my God. Okay. Just read it, Andy. Just read it. Don't feel it. Just read it. As they tore through hit singles such as Hunger Like the Wolf, Is There Something I Should Know, and Notorious, raw rock guitars punctuated their signature dance pop keyboards. Le Bon's voice was clear and the lyrics were distinct. The crowd caught its breath when the band unleashed new tunes from an album due next year. Together, the songs display Duran's finesse in creating music broadly influenced by funk, rap, and funk. No, funk, rap, and rock. That's right. That is... I'm breathless. I am absolutely breathless. That's so cool. And wait till you see the photos. They're coming. Here's the... beautiful. Love it. John and Simon on stage. The Webster Hall. If you were there, oh, I'm so jelly. Okay. There's another feature here. This is from New York Post, November 7th, 2003. This is talking about the band launching their tour. They reunited at Webster Hall in August, and there was so much love for that show. With its blend of greatest hits, new material, and a star-studded audience, it became the spark that ignited this small club tour. We went from grave reviews to rave reviews, LeBon told the Post. We're on top of the world again. That's so cool. And they had just picked up a Lifetime Achievement Award, so that's around the time this all happened. This is really cool. So he says, and they're talking about small audiences, really small clubs. Simon says, you can take a little audience to a much higher level. You can concentrate on every person watching. I've heard about those times when the band plays small clubs, and it is really cool. I mean, just like small audience, very tight, intimate, and there's eye contact, and everybody's losing their minds. Okay. There's a couple questions for Simon. After 18 years apart, the big question is, are you still the band you were? And Simon says, we're different because we've learned how to redirect our energy. We spend our energy on the things that really matter. Questions such as, Simon says, the shows and the music and each other. And the Post asks, are you implying that you once wasted energy on chicks, drugs, and booze? And Simon says, we only indulged in that the night before a day off. Kidding aside, we've come to realize what we mean to each other. I know how important Andy, John, Roger, and Nick are in my life. I took them for granted before. Would you intervene if one of your bandmates were in trouble? And Simon says, if one of us was completely shit-faced in a bar and about to have another glass of brandy, one of us would get him out of there. Oh, that's really, really cool. They really have each other's backs. This is not like, bands who just go to a show in separate limousines, play the show, and then just leave in the limos, go to their separate hotel rooms. I mean, the band really enjoy each other, and it really shows. And at the very end, there's a very cute little moment. The Post asks, says, you look pretty buff. And Simon says, I hate the term buff. It's a California-ism that I'm not very fond of. Then the Post says, then how would you describe your body? And Simon writes, worked. It's used, but not used up. It's important to be physical, to be athletic. We're not the video game generation. A lot of people my age used food as their main form of entertainment. I prefer sex to food, and one tends to preclude the other. Simon, you are just the best. You're just the best. Anyway, let LeBon times roll. That's what it's titled. Oh, these are so fun. I just love it when just the band get interviewed and they have fun and they don't just answer questions. They really invite the journalists into the band's perspective. That's really cool. So another article on the next page from February 6, 2004. This is the Evening Mail. Still on UK shores. Our Fab Five, our best of British. And this is about the Lifetime Achievement Award. Here's a question. What was your reaction to the Lifetime Achievement Award? Simon says, well, to be honest, we were completely amazed, gobsmacked and surprised, and found it a little difficult to believe at first because we hadn't even got a mention in the Brits all the time they've been going. And the question is, what are you going to be doing for us on the night? About this set, talking about the set list. And Simon says, we've talked about what we're going to do with our 7.5 minutes, but so far those conversations have all ended in argument. The word medley came up, which has scared a lot of people, as it always does, but I don't think you've really got much option. That's true, when you only have a little small amount of time, trying to squeeze in amazing stuff from Duran, it's like, what the heck do you play? Okay, so then, one more question. What was the first thing you did together when they reunited? Did you play an old song? And Simon says, Andy and John and Roger went to a little place in Wales and jammed through old stuff and actually worked on some new things. So they were kind of confident when they came in. But we walked into this room in the south of France. Nick pressed a button on his keyboard and the sequence started happening. And within minutes, Andy was playing this riff. I heard a melody line straight in that. Roger was playing the drums and John had a bass in there. And within 20 minutes, we had a song happening. It was fantastic. Really great. That's really cool. Beautiful. Seeing the band reunite. Francesca Luna's here. Hey, Francesca! Great name, Francesca. Okay, Wild Boys on Red Alert. So we're going to go from Astronaut into Red Carpet Massacre. And there definitely was some differing opinions in the press and the fans, and later on even in the band, about how successful and worthwhile that effort was. But definitely stretched the band. And you know, there's gems on every Duran album, in my opinion. But this is just taking a look a little bit at Red Carpet Massacre. And there's just two little bits that I picked out. Simon talks about the competitive nature in the band that never goes away. Nick and I fight like cat and dog because we care about what we do. I think he's a pretentious prat, and Nick thinks I'm a ham-fisted barbarian. Put that on your resume, Simon. You make ham-fisted barbarians look good. Very good. Okay. That was a weird statement. Okay. Then they're planning in December of 2007. They're planning a Red Carpet Massacre party in the West End with Z-list celebrities, if we're lucky, laughs LeBon. Duran Duran were conceived in an age of excess. Can they ever have too much glamour? And Rhodes smiles. I wonder that every day when I open my wardrobe. You can only imagine what Nick's wardrobe looks like. Okay, Wild Boys on Red Alert. Beautiful. And that great beach shot. Debbie Cruz is here. Okay, then we're Broadway's Wild Boys. Duran Duran are Broadway's Wild Boys. This is talking about when they played Broadway. And I remember Christine and I went to that show. We were actually sent there by the local radio station, which was just like crazy, unexpected, unprecedented. It was amazing. And then I interviewed the band and all that. It was just spectacular. But the show was the thing. It was just so cool with the electro set, and they played the full album. The only thing I pulled out of this article was the very last line. It's really cool. Simon says, sex and seduction and glamour are the things we've always stood for. Oh, God, I love it. That's Duran Duran, baby. Love it. Beautiful. There we go. Okay. So then the next thing is a really cool departure. This is from December 31st, 2007, the Wine Spectator magazine. And, you know, Nick is a big fan of wine. And I actually sent him a bottle of wine to thank him for my first book, writing the foreword. So I really had to do my research. He knows his stuff. So this is just a really interesting little examination of, you know, his love of wine. He talks about how he developed an interest in wine. Nick says, when I was a teenager, I started to drink wine with meals, as is fairly commonplace in Europe. I found the whole routine of sitting down for a meal and having a few glasses of wine to be a very favorable combination. When Duran started to travel more, I really began to develop a taste for different varietals. I was particularly keen when we were outside of France and Italy to see what wines were like in different countries. And then he talks about who chooses the wine when he goes out to dinner. And Nick says, I do. Simon is perfectly happy for me to choose. But to be honest, I'd be perfectly happy for him to choose. He has wonderful taste in wine. And finally, this, I didn't know this. Nick travels with is there something happening on the broadcast? That's kind of weird. I don't know what's going on. But hopefully you guys can still see this. Love technology! Okay, so Nick talks about traveling with a wine cellar. Can you tell us about it? And Nick says, the first time we did it was on our last big world tour. We had a flight case specifically created to keep all the wines fairly still and secure with foam around them. It stored about 100 bottles, maybe 120. It was a real luxury. When you're away from home a lot, it is nice to have a few of those comforts. Wow, traveling with your own wine cellar. That's really cool. That's good. Only Nick Rhodes. It says so much about Nick. Moving on to the Sunday Times Culture feature, November 4th, 2007. It's talking about Wild Boys, always shining, you know, the usual. And here we have talking about Justin Timberlake, teaming up with Justin. talking about making Falling Down, I believe. A few days later, let's see, yeah, in a few days, whatever. It happened at some point that they're talking about. Justin says Simon called him up and ordered him and the band up to Manchester, where the future Sex, Love, Sounds, Justin Timberlake's tour, had now touched down. Roger, who had just got back from honeymoon the night before, remembers being woken up and told, Justin's got a monster groove that might be the basis of the new ordinary world, and you'll be picked up in an hour. And then they convened in Blueprint Studio. For the next day and a half, they beavered away without a break. The session ended at 6 in the morning, and they're talking about how Falling Down. That's so cool. Timberlake has since referred to Falling Down as a tempo ballad with a melancholy-inspired and cryptic lyric that I find very beautiful. Simon says the song is about another of his near-death sporting experiences. This one, an 80-mile-an-hour motorcycle crash in a race in the early 1990s. Those were the thoughts that rushed through my mind just before I hit the ground. That's really cool. Did not know it was about his motorcycle accident. I think, was that when he lost a testicle? I don't know. One of them. But believe me, the man has still got balls. Okay. There you go. And did I show? I don't know if I showed the article on Nick. Sorry for all you Nick girls out there. Need to make sure I'm showing everything properly. Okay. And here's another article on a Red Carpet Massacre called Letting Go. And then we move on to an Australian publication, I believe. Nope. Italy. How can I possibly confuse Italy with Australia? But they both use awesome photos. Love it. And it has a nice retrospective selection of photos here. Oh, love Michael Putland's shot. Yeah, look at that. Oh, fantastic. Okay. Oh, some nice party shots. Simon and Yasmin at a party, and a shot from Nick's wedding. Very cool. The band have lived such a life just in the spotlight. Just amazing. Okay, so all washed up, not in this lifetime. Another big feature on Red Carpet Massacre, and this is interesting. This is a little quote from Roger, I believe. Is it Roger? Yes. Taylor, who like LeBon and Rhodes lives around the Chelsea area of London, feels the recognition on this side of the Atlantic, meaning the UK, is more muted. I remember when we did the Brit Awards, and there's always people at these things that are very British in their attitude, and they're kind of sneering a little bit. We went to the Q Awards as well, and that was a similar atmosphere. But in America, you get Justin and Timbaland and all the hip-hop people coming up, and they're like, yeah, you're cool, I really like you. It's a completely different thing. Nick talks about this credibility imbalance. Really interesting. Duran are seen as hip innovators in the US, and faintly silly relics in the UK. He thinks it's a product of the way the band originally disported themselves. He doesn't mean the Playboy lifestyle and Playboy videos and the gaudy fashions that so enchanted Princess Diana and still reek faintly of fusty Thatcherism. He means their ethos, if you like. We're very much seen Duran Duran as an international band. We were never put together just to do club tours of Britain. Interesting. So, I mean, they're definitely, I've heard about this. You know, the UK definitely views Duran kind of in a fickle nature sometimes. But of course, in America, I mean, you know, we're just all flavor of the week, but definitely Duran has earned a lot of credibility from steadfast critics, and that's been really exciting. So, Duran have definitely proven themselves over and over. There's a big feature here talking about how, you know, we're running out of time again. Okay, I'm not going to run through this. Basically, Just come over here and we'll go through it together. Drew Barrymore would have married any of the band. She wasn't fussy. A succession of sellout tours and a series of high glamour videos that dominated MTV completely bewitched her. And she said the other week, "Oh God, Duran Duran, I was convinced if any member of that band would meet me, they would understand I was supposed to be their wife. Duran Duran were the ones." Yeah, I can understand that. And then, there's a great story about Duran being thrown out of the LA hotel, out of a hotel on the Sunset Strip. Oh, that's so cool. Anyway, lots and lots of stuff, lots of stories. And yeah, there's more, but I'm not going to push it. I want to end on a note of just absolute love and adoration for you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, oh my gosh, we're doing this. Every distraction is just this big, huge love letter to me because you guys are tuning in, and I just send it right back to you. Cannot get enough of you. Thank you so much for joining. Happy month anniversary again to Christine. I can't wait to get home and hug you. And that's one thing I miss so much, the hugs. Oh my gosh, not being able to hug my mom right now is just special kind of hell. And I actually read something really interesting, and this is kind of maybe my homework to you guys. If you hug someone at least 20 seconds, that's how long it takes to release oxytocin in your body. And oxytocin lowers the blood pressure, it slows down your heart rate, and improves your mood. So my homework, my mission to you guys, if you are around someone that you love, please hug them for at least 20 seconds and just let the moment linger. Just let the music play a little longer because it makes a difference. So you guys make a difference to me. Stay safe, be kind to yourselves, and leave a light on. Love you guys so much. Thank you.